what a lot of people don't understand is the Rocky Horror Show was a stage production before it was a movie.
Right.
And so it was written for the stage, and it wasn't one of those most popular of shows, but it did okay, and that was in England. And then when it went over to the States and they made the movie, it still wasn't that popular of a movie. But for some reason, people started to really get into it, and it was more with the sort of attitude that people had towards it, because it was such a corny movie that they would start call-outs and they would start participating and actually getting up on the stage in front of the movie screen and playing the part and knowing all of the words, and all the dialogue or whatever. The best way to get tickets for this show, and unfortunately, this is the very last show ever here at the Port Mansion.
Okay.
So they can call us at our telephone number, which is 905-934-0575. Extension 226 is the box office, and that would be me that answers. I do everything, yes. You could also catch us at www.portmansion.com. That's our website, so that gives you info. So that's basically, now we only have a few seats left. There are two Friday nights, next Friday and the Friday after, which we only have maybe about 30 seats left. The 2 Saturdays after tonight are done, and we're totally sold out. And we will almost 100% sure that I'll be opening another added show on November the 19th at 8 o'clock.
Okay, David, tell me about your involvement in the show tonight.
Well, I play Dr. Frankenfurter.
Yes.
And I've been doing the show, well, I did it last year. I did it the first year that they brought it to Port Mansion, and I was just a lowly usher at the time. But it was...
You've really moved through the ranks.
I've moved up in the world. And last year was the first year I got to play Frank. And having the two experiences was really cool. It was just, yeah.
That's awesome. So first of all, tell me sort of a little bit about Dr. Frankenfurter. For those who don't really know the character, tell me in your words.
Dr. Frankenfurter is, well, he's the archetypal sort of real life backstage. He's the archetypal mad scientist.
Yes.
But he is also a very narcissistic transvestite from another planet. And basically the way I interpret the character is that when he walks into a room, in his head, everybody wants to sleep with him.
Right.
And so that's his character. That's his main drive is essentially sex.
Daniel, you're in charge of the music for this production, and the Rocky Horror Show is really known for its music. Tell me about your involvement in this production.
I've been playing guitar since I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I've always sort of had a theater involvement just through my mom being, and she used to work at the Shaw Festival years ago, and it's just sort of always been around. So when the opportunity to do this show came about, I figured, why not? It'll be fun to play on stage with a live band with a bunch of scantily clad people running around in front of us. How can you lose, And as it turned out, it's just musically a lot of fun. It's a play off of 50s and 60s rock and roll, so it's not the most difficult stuff to play, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of room for sort of improv, and of course it's live theater, so we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants a little bit every show. There's certain cues that we don't really always know if people are going to hit, so we just kind of go with it, and that's an obvious fun element to it. I mean, when you've been playing music for a long time, if there's something that you can do that keeps it fresh, then you got to go with it. And of course all the guys in the band, Nick Tripe, the drummer, he's been the drummer for the last 5 years as well. Him and I are, the most steady band members. We have Larry Swiertz he does Pink Floyd Niagara on keyboards and piano, and this year we have Dave Tufford on bass, and he's also done shows here before. He was in a Beatles review. He did Good Rockin' Tonight, like just solid musicians, guys that have paid their dues and put in their hours over the years. So it's just a lot of fun.